Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the beautiful chanting. Yesterday, we focused on a very important section from Maharaj's book, The Nectarian Motion of the Holy Name, where Maharaj said something about chanting at the time of death. Where he says in that particular paragraph, to chant at the time of death, however, is very difficult because one is extremely disturbed and cannot concentrate his thoughts deliberately. They just come like an uncontrollable stream. Very easily, one might become so overwhelmed that he loses the power to speak. Therefore, we have to prepare ourselves now. As long as the body is strong and the mind more or less well poised, and as long as there are no greater difficulties in our lives. This paragraph is quite potent, that we all have to take this quite serious. From the 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, we also know that Krishna says very clearly that anta-kāle cha māmeva smaran muktvā kalevaram prayāti mad-bhāvaṁ yāti nāsty atra saṁśayaḥ. He said anta-kāle, at the time of death, when one quits his body, remembering me alone will attain me or my nature. We don't want to get into philosophical thing of what Krishna meant by my nature and those things. Just keep it simple. So one will attain Krishna, and there is no saṁśayaḥ, means there is no doubt to this. If you remember me at the time of death, you will come to me. What in case if I don't remember you, Krishna? Krishna again says the following verse, yam yam vapi smaran bhāvaṁ tvajatyante kalevaram tam tam eveti kaunteya sada tat bhava bhavita. That he says, well, if you don't remember me, whatever you remember, that is what you are going to attain as your nature. As your nature, you will become. So it's better that you remember me. And when should I remember Krishna? And Krishna goes on saying that tasmāt sarveṣu kāleṣu, tasmāt sarveṣu kāleṣu mām anusmaran. Whether you're doing battle, whether you're doing cooking, whether you're driving to office, whether you're whatever the situation may be, mām anusmaran, always, tasmāt sarveṣu kāleṣu, all the time, just remember me. Why? Because at the time of death, definitely you can remember me because you've been remembering me throughout the life. Therefore, you can easily remember me at the time of death. This is all beautiful slokas from 8th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. 5, 6, 7 slokas. Now, the challenging question is, what in case if you are not in a state of remembering Krishna? This is where we stopped yesterday on this particular section. I'm in a state where I couldn't remember Krishna, or I died abruptly without even being given a chance to remember Krishna. Right? What in that case? What should we do? And you will not find answers in Bhagavad Gita for that. Bhagavad Gita is pretty straightforward, where Krishna said, you better remember me if you want to come to me. If you don't remember me, then you lose the opportunity. You take birth again and again practice, and then again try to remember me and come to me. If you fail that time, again take birth, try to practice, and then try to remember me and come to me. So, well, this is all good. And it's difficult. It's definitely very challenging and very difficult. Oh, what to do? That means there's no way that we are fortunate, unless and until we are fortunate enough, we cannot go back to Krishna, we cannot remember Krishna. Therefore, we have to go to the previous avatars of Krishna. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita in Dwapara Yuga, and in Krita Yuga, that is Satya Yuga, Krishna took another wonderful avatar. In that avatar, he gives a beautiful response, answer about this. What happens if you are in a state of like a log, a stone, where you have no movements, no actions, no consciousness, but you're just lying down like a log of wood or a stone. What happens at that point of time? So Krishna, Varaha, this is exactly what Mother Bhumi, Mother Earth asked to Varahadev after being recovered from the ocean. And she was asking, my Lord, what does that need to be done to attain you? Not that she has to attain, she's already a consort of the Lord, but she was asking on behalf of her children who keep forgetting about you. And it seemed to be you very clearly said one has to remember you. But again, don't try to go sequentially in that order of, well, that is later comes, but just understand the point here. So, how can one remember at the time of death? It's going to be difficult. That means they cannot attain you. Therefore, Varahadev tells a beautiful response. He gives a beautiful response to Mother Earth that Tithe manasi suswaste sharire satiyo naraha dhatu samye site smarta vishwarupam cha mamajam tatastam mriyamanam tu kashta pashana sannibam aham smarami mad-bhāvaṁ nayami paramam gatim. This is a beautiful sloka in Varaha Purana. Aham smarami mad-bhāvaṁ. Those who know a little bit of been reading Prabhupada's books and slokas can easily understand what this sentence means. Aham smarami. Aham means I. Smarami means will remember. Who? Mad-bhāvaṁ. Mad-bhāvaṁ, my devotee. My devotee was surrendered. And there's nothing need to be worried about however he dies or she dies. If tathastam mriyamanam to kashta pashana sannibam. If the person is in a state of a log of wood or a stone, motionless, cannot speak, cannot chant, cannot even remember me, but I will remember that person. But that is the second half of no, that's the second sloka of that Charma sloka. The first part is quite very important so that Krishna can, the Varahadev can remember us. That is Tite Manasi Suswate Sarire Satiyo Naraha Dhatu Samya Stite Smarta. What he says is that, well, when he is in his youthful state, when his mind is clear and active, when his dhatu, when his system, the bodily system is all working fine, when he remembers me, when at that point of time, when he remembers me and surrenders to me, at the time of death, his death, he doesn't have to, if he can remember, that's fine. But in a state that he cannot remember him, doesn't matter. Aham smarami. I will remember that person. What a promise, what a guarantee that the Lord gives to us, right? This is very promising, very, is giving hope to all of us that we don't need to be very much worried about whether I will remember Krishna at the time of death or not. We don't need to worry about too much about that. But condition is that we not to worry does not mean that we lead a life however we want. We lead a life as per what Krishna wants us to lead, remembering Him, doing devotional service and chanting and being respectful to everyone, serving the devotees. And all those things applies when our body is in a condition, good condition, or in a favorable condition. And we surrender when our body is in a good state. That's all the Lord is asking for. You do everything that you want, and then finally you come and tell me, take care, it's not going to, you're trying to find a loophole, it's not going to work. So we are all fit in one way or the other. We all have certain ailment, some problems, health problem or something or the other. Definitely, if not now, we'll all have issues later. And as some way or the other, we have to leave the body, right? Some way or the other, we have some may leave just on the bed sleeping. Some may have to go through some tough times. Some may have so many different things are there, right? But nevertheless, we all have to leave the body. But now we are alive. That's the point. Now we are alive. Mind is okay. We are able to do things, whatever the capacity of our age and body permits. Let's surrender to Krishna at this time so that we are not to be much concerned and worried about how we are going to die. Who's going to be there with me when I die? Some are fortunate that they are surrounded by Krishna devotees, right? Some are fortunate they'll be surrounded by devotees. What in case we are in a state where there's no devotees at all, our Atma leaves the body. What? Right? At least no one there to chant, no one, we are done, right? So therefore, Varahadev sloka, this is a Charma sloka of Varahadev from Varaha Purana. How we have Bhagavad Gita Charma sloka, how we have Rama Charma sloka. This is Varaha Charma sloka, which is beautiful slokas that we all have to take it serious in our life so that the Lord will remember us even if we couldn't remember for whatever the condition at the time of death. Site manasi sushrute sarire satiyo naraga dhatu samye site smarta vishwarupam chamamajam tatastham riyamanam kashta pasana and kashta pasana log of wood or like a stone sannibam in that condition aham smarami mad-bhāvaṁ nayami paramam gatim. And not only I will remember him, anyone can remember at the time of death. It doesn't matter. When I am dying, my family is going to remember me. You are going to remember me. Someone is going to remember me. Remembering is not a big deal. We will remember that person. Oh, he was such and such person. He helped me in my life so much. I wish that he lived for another 2 more, 3 more, 10 more years. We will remember about our loved ones or who helped us in our life. But the second part is Nayami Paramam Gati. None of our relatives and friends who remembers us when we die can tell this part of the sloka that I will take you to the spiritual world. No one can tell that part, right? Because why? The Lord is the owner of the spiritual world. He himself, the owner, is coming and tell you, don't worry, I will remember you. Not only remember you, remember everyone does, but I will take you to my abode. That means no more birth again. That means we have been employed in the spiritual world with a full-time job to serve Krishna, without layoff, without tension, without nothing. Now that we see that, now, when we go to work, especially it happens in my place here, initially we have to come to a place where everyone want to collaborate and work. Then they changed into hybrid model, hybrid to 5 days a week, 5 days to 8 hours in a week, office you have to stay in every day. And it's just, so things are changing, but in the in the spiritual world, it is not 5 days a week, 8 hours. It is for eternal. We will be happily serving Krishna. Here we are not serving anything happily. I mean, outside of spiritual Krishna consciousness, we are not really happily doing our job. Right? We are doing for some motive. Something or the other is driving us to do our job. That's a fact, right? But then when we go to spiritual world, the only motive is for us to motive is for us to serve Krishna, and we'll be happily serving Krishna as Varahadev guarantees. So let's be more joyful and have more faith in Varaha's word, um, and lead our Krishna consciousness happily when we are in a state of mind to remember Krishna, when we are in the state of able to serve the devotees and Krishna now. So I just want to share this one. I thought it's more relevant for what we read yesterday to recollect what has been told here. So, any thoughts, any questions? Oh, before I end, I also want to tell, so as Varahadev says that you don't need to remember me at the time of death. That's number one. And the next question comes, whose responsibility it is to make sure I go back to the spiritual world? That's the second question. Right? Varaha Sarma Sloka gives a message that you don't need to remember the time of death. If you cannot, please underline that. If you cannot remember me, don't worry. I will remember you and take you back to spiritual. That's one part. But then whose responsibility to make all the arrangement so we can go back to the spiritual world? That answer is given by Rama. Rama in this Charma Sloka, Sakradeva Prapannaya Tavasmi iti te yāchate abhayam sarvabhutebhyo tatami ye vritam mama. Vritam, this is another higher category. I have taken a vow that I will protect my devotees and I'll make sure they go back to the spiritual world. Abhayam sarvabhute, from all, I give all protection from all living entities or anyone to make sure that they come back to me. So all they have to do, or we have to do, Sakrit eva prapannaya. Sakrit eva prapannaya. They just have to surrender to me one time, not multiple times. My Lord, I surrender to you, I surrender to you. It's not necessary. If they surrender to me one time, tava asmi, tavasmi, tava asmi, itiche yachate. Yachanam means beg or pray that I am yours. Right? If a person surrenders unto me just one time, even we may have forgotten that I have surrendered to the Lord, but the Lord will not forget him because he surrendered to him. That is another beautiful Charma Sloka by Rama who says this one. Now, even after Varaha says that if you don't remember, I will remember you. When Ramachandra says that it's my responsibility, make sure you come back to me. And still we will have some doubt in our mind. What's the doubt? Well, this is all nice, but the amount of sins that I've committed, when is that going to be rectified? How am I going to do prayāti, atonement, to get rid of all my sins that I have done? It's not end of it. Even after becoming devotee, I've committed several sins. It's not I've become so, when we get initiated, usually some senior or some devotees will come that all your karmas are gone, your slate is very clean, and well, that's all nice. Right after a couple of hours, I'll make another sin. Right? So I'll offend someone or the other. And again, increase, slate is never clean at all, by the way. Our slate is not going to be clean. We continuously commit sins after sin after sin. And the amount of sin that we do, one sin will take lifetime of Brahma to do our prayāti or go through that suffering or whatever it is. One sin can be one lifetime of Brahma. And we are so expert to make hundreds of sins in 1 minute. That skill no one has except us, Manushya, human being. So where is the point of my sin is going to be cleared? Therefore, the Charma Sloka comes by Krishna says, Sarva dharmana parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo, not 2025 papam, not 10-year back papam. Sarva papam, and say Krishna says sarva papam, it is not limited to this lifetime. Sarva, which include prarabdha karma, sanchita karma, and any karma that's going to come in the future also the future karma. But please understand, when the Lords out of compassion, they're trying to tell something, we should not take it as an opportunity to us to commit sins. Krishna is going to take care of. Varaha said, anyway, he's going to remember me. Rama said, he's make sure I'll go back. Therefore, I'm already initiated. I'm already surrendered. Doesn't matter if I commit a couple of mistakes. It's okay. It's not like that. Sharanagati angam, we have to be anukulyasya sankalpaha pratikulyasya varjanam. We have to do things which is pleases Krishna, and we should not do things which are not pleasing, displeasing Krishna. So that's a part of surrender. So we cannot simply say surrender, but I do whatever I want. That's not how it works. Therefore, we carefully, after surrendering, follow what Krishna likes and devotees likes and do accordingly and serve them. In that way, it doesn't really matter how we die. How we die doesn't really matter. Sometimes people have this idea, if you die while you're sleeping, it's very good. If you die somewhere else in some other way, he must have done a lot of sin or whatever. It doesn't really matter in Krishna consciousness, how we die. The Lord can take us however he wants us to take. We have to be surrendered in that way. With that said, I like to pause here and request you all to remember these three slokas called Charma slokas. Varaha Charma slokam is to tell us that in case if you can't remember me, I will remember you and take back. And the Rama Charma sloka, where it's Rama says, it's my responsibility to make sure you go back or you come back to the spiritual world because you surrendered to me. And the third one is, don't worry about any of your karmas. Don't worry about any of the karma. I will clear them. I'll clear them. I'll clear the root. Because we have to be karma free to go back to spiritual. We cannot, just because Varaha said like that, doesn't mean that we can go to the spiritual world with the karmas. That's not possible. So only Krishna says, I will clear all the karmas. So you become eligible to go back to the spiritual world. Number one. And Varaha said, that's eligibility is not enough. You have to remember me. Therefore, I will make you remember at the time of death. It's not you have to remember. I will make you to remember me at the time of death, and then I will take you to the spiritual world. It's my responsibility, as Rama said. So these are the slokas that we should always remember. That site manasi susvate sharire satiyo naraha dhatu same site smarta vishwarupam cha mamajam tatastam riyamanam tu kashta pasana sannipam aham smarami mad-bhāvaṁ ayami paramam gatim sakrideva prapannaya tavasmi iti te yāchate abhayam sarva bhutebhyo dadami etaturitam mama sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam saranam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma sucham. Thank you. Hare Krishna. If there is anything, we can have one question or something to share. Otherwise, we can meet tomorrow. All right. Thank you all very much. Let's remember Krishna as much as possible. Chant his name and surrender to him.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Just one quick question. So, Prabhuji, if somebody has a different faith, does this principle still applies? Or it is only just in regards to Krishna consciousness?
In different faith, in different religion, different faith.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Krishna clearly says that it's about those who are following his instruction. Okay. So that's all we have to follow. When Krishna says this, Smriti Smriti Mamai Bhagya. He said, my words that is said in the Smriti Smriti, if they follow that one, then good. If not, I can't help. If the people have their own ideas and own things. But if they've been a nice person, good person, they've done some good karma, punya karma, that might add some value for their future work.
Prabhuji, yeah, basically, I'm just saying in regards to like when somebody is in on the ventilator, when they are Christians, and then they are also like very true Christians, and they have their own beliefs. So that way, just trying to ask, like
definitely, if they have their belief, that's all fine. And there also we have to understand that their spiritual understanding is quite different. It is not like how we understand what the spiritual world is, and their understanding of body and soul is also different. It is like you're going with the body to the spiritual world. When the day of judgment comes, the whoever has been cremated, who have been buried, they come out and go to heaven. So there are a lot of differences are there. If they are, as I said, if they are following their religion very nicely, it gives an opportunity for them to get graduated to the next level of spirituality in their next life. So there's nothing in that way it is good than not doing or following any religion. So it's good, but it's not an ultimate destination or a truth.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If you have any further questions, we can talk tomorrow. We all meet again tomorrow at 5 a.m. Have a wonderful day. Remember Varaha Sloka, remember Ramachandra, remember Krishna Chandra. Their beautiful Charma slokas. That is the only hope for all of us. Otherwise, we ourselves can never remember Krishna. We can never become perfect in our life. It's very difficult, right? It's challenging. But the Lord is compassionate. He guarantees, do your best now. Rest is in my hands. I will take care of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you.